This episode of the 7th Valkyrie podcast was brought to you by me. Read full name. What? You want? Oh, you want me to BC? No, I don't give a shit that that's not my full name. That's what they call me. Yeah, okay. Hey, you listening. Fucking, where were we at? No, stop bitching at me, Colin. Yeah, okay. To get the full experience, including all available seasons, extra artwork, fucking, I don't know, bonus features and behind the scenes content. Are you paying me for this? No? Okay. Well, go fuck yourself. You can download the 7th Valkyrie app at the link in the description. Do it. Or I don't know. Fucking whatever. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the 7th Valkyrie podcast. It's getting late in the day as we're sitting down to record this one. I've recorded a few ones today, and I guess it makes sense that this is the last one that I'm sitting down to think about today. We live in a world of very carefully curated content and images and experiences and personalities. And I know this just as much as the next guy. Like, I work in marketing, and my job is to elevate, your perception of a product or a company or an experience, well beyond, perhaps what I would say if I was just speaking to you, like, as a person. And sometimes up to an absurd level where it's like, this is the greatest thing on the planet. And it's like, well, I know it's probably not. But which is, actually why I'm very lucky to have some clients where I actually do believe that they are, like, at what they are doing, they are just about the best around. So that makes it easier. Anyway, but I'm not talking about elevating things up to their highest heights today. I'm talking about the flip side of that. I'm talking about sadness and, cycles of moments where you're just not feeling great. And I want to live in a world where that's okay, where it's okay that we could have a podcast to talk about sadness. And, sometimes we have down days. I'm sure everyone out there does. Sometimes it just feels like nothing's going right. I don't know. I've noticed a lot of times that they hit me, like those kind of moments hit me after big celebrations, which, yes, Mom, that does have to do with the fact that alcohol is a depressant. Stop sending that WhatsApp message that you're about to type right now. I'm sure you were like, well, obviously after big, I get it. Yeah. Anyway, but other times, and that's a little bit more obvious. Like, people talk about their Blue Tuesdays or the Sunday scaries after a long weekend. That's a little more common, but other times I notice, and maybe this is just me, but I don't think it's just me. I'm not that unique. Other times, I'll just peter out. Like, I'll lose my rhythm, and it feels like there's just nothing that you have to get excited about. I wonder if being a little tired at the end of the day builds to that feeling. But I don't know. It's interesting. About 2 weeks ago, or 2 podcasts ago, or a couple. I don't know when it'll come out. But I talked about patience and cycles where I'll sort of feel super anxious and unexcited about things sometimes. And I was talking about that feeling, but I think this round of topics, these are all my, just for some context, all of my podcasts tend to be kind of based roughly off of journal entries, little notes that I'll take down on a thought, and just wanted to share. And this one came to me sort of on the tail end of just like one of those times of sort of anxiety and like, what's the meaning of everything? I actually, and at one point I needed to stop. And I was like in the middle of writing this one. I needed to kind of like take a moment, stand up, go walk outside, and like sit on the terrace and just like cry a little bit. and like just look up at the sky and like kind of just feel teary, and I can reassure you there was nothing wrong with me. Like there was nothing wrong even going on, but sometimes those cycles just hit you and you just feel down. No matter how beautiful the day is, no matter how beautiful the view, no matter how wonderful your life has been up to that point, you just run out of steam. And when that happens, I always have to check myself to make sure I don't immediately like go get hammered or get super drunk or just like, smoke so much that I can't fucking stand. Because that's what the lizard brain instinct says. Like, just drown it or burn it away, all the sorrows, and just like, find some cozy feeling and, wrap yourself up in that until, it passes. But it's not something that I recommend for anybody, certainly not for myself. Because those cycles of sadness sort of happen to everybody. And I want, that to be a little bit more okay. I'm not the only person out there who's like, hey, it should be okay to be down. But I am sharing this over a podcast because, like, I don't know, I guess I want it to be a source of support for you and for anybody else who's listening, that to know that it's okay to just feel bad, that like even your favorite podcast creator, who I'm not your favorite, but we have down moments and down days, and I actually think that they're super important. Those downs reset you. They let your body kind of come back down to earth. And ultimately, I think they actually help you find a greater height, because like without days where you just feel like the whole world is not turning in your direction, like I don't know that you can really appreciate moments where you're flying high. And that doesn't mean they don't freaking suck, because they do. But I'm working on, and I'm not perfect at this, at trying to just let those moments wash over. And it's funny, this does actually link back to the 7th Valkyrie, because particularly the journey of BC, without spoiling too much, one skew of her struggle comes down to facing down those numbing habits of like, facing those negative feelings, facing the come down, rather than running away from the bad feelings until nothing feels like anything anymore. I'm a big believer, at least on a top of brain perspective, maybe not always on a gut perspective, that anytime you live, you have to accept the good and the bad, and the good is a reflection of bad, just like bad is a reflection of good. And yeah, I don't know. I guess at the end of it, like I just wanted this one to say that, like, if you're out there having a bad day, I don't know, I just want you to know I'm right there with you. Like, it's not, and I won't tell you need to be happier, just that tomorrow might be a little bit better if you let it be. And for anybody who is struggling with mental health issues on the other side, because that's a little different. Like, that's a much more like biochemical brain, and often for some reason for some people it's trauma. For me, it's not. But anyway, that's a different thing. I'm a big mental health supporter. I myself take some medication for my anxiety, but which I don't know that I revealed online. But anyway, whatever. All of this to say, if you're out there having a bad day, I hear you. I feel you. Hopefully tomorrow is better. And it's okay to be having a shitty day. You don't always have to be firing at 100%. So anyway, that was just kind of my little friendly, like, one person feeling lame to somebody else who might be. Much love. Take care. And hey, hopefully tomorrow's a little bit better. Thank you for listening to this episode of the 7th Valkyrie podcast, brought to you by me, Blair Atal Sathura. Is that what you wanted? Is that yeah? Is that what you wanted? You wanted like what? Like a girl on a game show? You fucker. App's good. Listen to it. You just gotta it's got all sorts of cool shit on it. Yeah, Colin's getting mad at me. Yeah, fuck off. No, don't worry. Yeah, you listen. Download it. It's on the App Store and shit.